Found footage. Hey, so remember found footage movies? I guess they're not totally over, and I guess that it was like fairly influential in the way that like cinema would go, specifically like horror cinema. I understand that it has an influence, but remember how it kind of ruined like 20 years of everyone's lives? Okay, it probably didn't ruin 20 years of everyone's lives. I mean, a lot of people never cared or saw them, or also some people like totally loved them, and that's cool and valid, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot more bad found footage, I think, than good found footage. But either way, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. We can't get into this just yet because I have to intro the video. I gotta tell you what we're doing here today. So today we are going to be covering the found footage Iceberg. Wow, look at it. It's over here. It's over here. Wow, look at it. It's so huge. It's like, wow, that's a lot of movies. There's no way I'm getting this done in one video. I think we're gonna have to break this one up into tiers, so we're gonna do that. So expect that this will be, you know, the foreseeable month of everyone's lives. I'm gonna be slowly watching and covering every movie on the found footage tier list, Iceberg. Remember icebergs and how they ruined 20 years of everyone's lives? Last time I did an iceberg video, I kind of was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna do one of these again. But then I was like, it's kind of my wheelhouse. I've seen a lot of found footage movies. I was looking over this list and I was kind of surprised at how many of them I had seen and how many of them were really weird. So I thought, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. I don't care. I think it'd be fun. Would it be fun? Let me know if you think it's fun in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe. And also, if you want me to eat food and not die while I'm doing this, consider supporting me on Patreon. Anyway, so today we're going to be covering the found footage Iceberg tier 1. So before we get into the iceberg, it is obviously important to set up a little bit of context here. Found footage movies are not new per se, or they're not like really just new. They've been around for a while. Cannibal Holocaust is a found footage movie. The Last Broadcast is there's been a few of them before the Blair Witch Project, which is often considered to be the first found footage movie, but they hit kind of a weird stride in the 2000s with Paranormal Activity, which everyone remembers. You all remember where you were, unless you weren't born yet, in which case you don't remember where you were unless you're a genius kind of baby. Paranormal Activity was a nightmare for everyone to live through because there were like 7 sequels and most of them were bad. I would almost go as far to say that all of them were bad. That's not even here nor there though, because it was what that movie spawned that ended up being the like biggest source of cringe. I mean, we were getting like 2 to 5 found footage movies a year. Everybody kind of got this idea in their head, like if you wanted to make a cheap horror movie, you could just make a found footage movie. That quickly got abandoned because then there were expensive found footage movies, which is also boggling to the mind. There is a whole diverse web of things here to talk about. You've got your big budget Hollywood found footage movies. You've got your Joe's Basement found footage movies, and they're all on this tier list. Iceberg. It's called an iceberg. They're all here. So if you want to know about them, this is probably the iceberg for you. By the time this is over, I'd say there's a pretty decent chance that you will know just about everything there is to know about found footage cinema. And I do say cinema because they're cinematic. We all kind of know what found footage is, and it did like have a huge influence on like internet culture, internet horror, and a lot of people's like favorite things ever are found footage things. I understand this. I don't want you to get the impression in your head that I just like hate found footage movies. I'm fascinated by them. I think that a lot of them are really wacky and crazy and fun. A cultural reappraisal of found footage is necessary now. The time has passed. Like, we've kind of all gotten over it. So now it's time for us to sit down and really get to the nitty-gritty and talk about found footage movie. Without further ado, sorry for the long intro. I'm known for the long intros. People hate me for the long intros, but I don't care. Tier 1 of the found footage iceberg. Remember Abrams? He made Star Wars. Two of Star Wars. He did not direct Cloverfield, the first in the installment of found footage tier list number 1 iceberg. What? Oh my god. He did not direct Cloverfield, but he is pseudo responsible for Cloverfield. Drew Goddard directed Cloverfield. I remember a time when a trailer for Cloverfield hit theaters and no one really knew what it was gonna be, but everyone was kind of interested in it. It actually came out. Now, I'm old, okay? But when I was in high school, this movie hit the cinema, and I and a group of friends went to go see this movie in the theater, and we had our shit rocked crazy. We did not know that it was a kaiju movie. We did not know that it was just kind of bad, and we did not know how much fun we would have. Now, I don't really know how well Cloverfield has aged, but I can tell you that it had a special place at the time. This was the first, in my mind, mega budget found footage movie. There was a whole ass monster. There was like stuff was going on. There were explosions. It was a wild time. And for the young and aspiring filmmaker, Cloverfield was kind of like a wow moment. We were all like, wow, you can do that? Yes, it turns out you can. There has been a mythological Cloverfield 2 coming down the pipeline any day now for several years, and I sure don't know if it's ever going to happen or if it really should. Either way, Cloverfield is not that interesting, I think, in hindsight. I don't think that time has done Cloverfield a lot of favors, but to just give you a brief overview of the movie, a bunch of people are at a party in New York. There's drama between characters, and then all of a sudden, wham bam, there's a kaiju, and then all hell breaks loose. Everybody's running and screaming. It turns into a disaster movie. They run away from the monster. They try to figure out how to get away from the monster. We're doing something so that we can set up a moment where somebody with a handheld camera can aim it up at the monster and be like, that's a monster, and it's on my handy cam. You know, there's something kind of compelling about that, I guess, at the time. No one had ever done a kaiju movie from the first person perspective that I knew of at the time. It was a perspective that no one had seen before, which largely is the goal of cinema, is to show us something that we haven't seen before, at least occasionally. I would say that there's some charm to Cloverfield, even though I wouldn't necessarily say that it needs to come with us into the following century. All right, so the next entry is by far probably the most well-known, other than Paranormal Activity, found footage movie. It is the Blair Witch Project, and they wrote here the Blair Witch Project series. So I guess they mean the Blair Witch Project 2, which is not a found footage movie. Someone didn't do their research. So Blair Witch Project, everyone's seen it, right? I mean, I don't need to tell you what the Blair Witch Project is. Everyone's seen it. The Blair Witch Project, I'll write this down and I'll take the flack for it. If y'all are mad at me about this, I'll take it. I don't care. I'll take the emotional damage. Blair Witch Project is kind of good. Okay, hold on. Everybody calm down. Blair Witch Project is kind of good. And I will defend this statement. The sound design is really, really strong. The kind of complex web of narrative where it's are people just losing their minds in the woods because they're lost? Are people sabotaging one another? Are characters going through deep emotional turmoil and that's being depicted on screen? The objective camera kind of confuses that element. This was the beginning of the idea of the film theory in a lot of ways. Like not film theory, like the subject of study, but I mean like the film theory, like the game theory, like, you know, like people suspecting that something else might be going on in the movie other than what is like the mainline narrative of the movie. I don't necessarily subscribe to this idea, but only a little bit, you know. I mean, it's all there, but in my mind, it's kind of a mixture of all of it. And the horror definitely comes from the fact that the woods at night, when you're stuck there and you don't want to be sleeping there, are scary. The woods at night, you know, to quote Werner Herzog, they scream. They don't sing, they scream. It's very terrifying to be in the woods at night. Any beauty that you might experience in nature kind of caps off when you're in total darkness at night. You know, maybe it's a bear that's fucking up their tent. Maybe it's their friends that are fucking up their tent. The filming style of it, there's like notable things, how they would hide in the woods, the filmmakers, and they would give them the camera, the actors, and then they would just kind of torture them with sound. Maybe they could see something that we as an audience couldn't, you know. It's almost better in this movie that we don't see anything, even if that starts the trend of like the scary found footage movie where you don't see anything at all. It's all just psychological, or you're hearing it or whatever. And it has this like unbelievably powerful ending where they find this house in the woods and, you know, everything is very, very wacky. I just realized something, damn it! I just realized why they wrote the Blair Witch Project series, because no, Blair Witch 2 is not a found footage movie, but the Adam Wingard, Simon Barrett remake is someone didn't do their research. A found footage movie? That movie. Oh boy. I defended it at the time, I think. I think when that movie came out, I was like, you know what, this isn't so bad. And you know, there's a lot of good filmmaking within it, although I don't think that it even remotely scratches the surface of what that movie was supposed to be. But there is a part of me that's like, if this movie was entirely divorced from the Blair Witch Project, maybe I would love it. I don't know, but as a Blair Witch sequel, it's like not very good. People have said this. Many people are saying this. It's not so good, you know. I forgot about it. I want to point that out. I want to point out that I forgot that this movie was remade. I wasn't gonna remember. In some way, I think that speaks to the movie more than I could if I'm just like, yeah, no one remembers this. You know, maybe there are some people out there that are like die hard for the Blair Witch Project remake. Please, in the comments, tell me if you are a diehard for the Blair Witch Project reboot. And it is more of a reboot. It's not really a remake. It's not the same plot. It's just basically the same plot. It's like kind of a pseudo sequel in a way. It like follows the same string of events, but later there's time travel. You know, you actually see stuff in that one. There's like this really awful fucked up monster in the woods. It's just everything that was subtle about the first movie is just like cranked up to nope, now you can see it. Nope, now it's definitely happening. Nope, now there's time travel. Everything has a justification. There's no room for you to interpret the movie whatsoever. It is literally this, which I think kind of just like sours something. I don't know. That's for you to decide. Movie number 3 is Chronicle. Chronicle is a movie that I believe was written by Max Landis. Chronicle is a movie that's written by Max Landis. Chronicle is written by Max Landis. It is a found footage superhero movie starring Dane DeHaan and other people. I never liked Chronicle. I'll just go out and say it. I never liked it. I didn't care about it at the time. There's something funny, I guess, about like teenagers fucking around on a camera in the same way that it's like a skate video. You know, there's something funny about that, something kind of charming about that. But Chronicle came across to me as very fakey. It doesn't come across like a skate video. It doesn't come across like the real deal. It comes across like it's very like, this is how teenagers are, and I never connected with it that much. So yeah, it's just teenagers. They discover a thing that gives them superpowers. One of them turns evil. They fight the guy. It's, you know, it is what it is. I don't think it's all that notable. I think the only reason it's on the found footage iceberg is because it is a found footage movie that a lot of people have seen. It was a fairly big budget studio found footage movies, so I don't care. Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity is a movie. Paranormal Activity, I believe, is directed by Oren Paley, one of the actors, the main actress who plays the character. I can't remember her name right now. She went to my high school. That's true. That's a fact. She went to my high school. Anyway, we grew up around the same time. It's not really a big deal. She graduated before I did. We did go to the same high school. Paranormal Activity is technically a movie. It is technically a movie about people who have a haunted house. Their house is haunted. There are ghosts inside. Well, demon, I guess, inside. There are some genuinely creepy moments, but overall, the movie kind of sucks. If you haven't seen Paranormal Activity, first off, I think that's amazing because the hype engine behind Paranormal Activity made it so that you could not avoid it. The Paranormal Activity launched 1,000 ships. It is the Helen of Troy of found footage movies. Like, the reason we have Blumhouse in a huge way now is because of Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity is almost responsible for everything that would come later in theater. Oh, this is super scary marketing angle thing that seemingly every movie does now forever and will never stop doing. That came from Paranormal Activity. The bad Blumhouse movie where nothing happens, like, that comes from this. The ghost living inside someone's brand new just built house. There's so many things that come from Paranormal Activity. However, I will say that at the time, and this is important, nuance is important. It did invent a lot of the cinematic language of found footage movies that would carry on into the 2000s. You can blame Paranormal Activity for a lot of the things that would come later, not just the bad things, but some of the good things too. I mean, the jittery jump cut that makes it look like there is no editor whatsoever, and it's like, if an editor was actually looking at real footage, why would they cut in the middle of dialogue? There's a lot of stuff going on in Paranormal Activity like that. There's the speed up, slow down, the time lapse. There's a lot of stuff Paranormal Activity brings to the table that would either later be parodied, ripped off, or blatantly ignored. If you want to know what the found footage phenomenon was for the little limited time that it was a phenomenon, Paranormal Activity was the movie for you. Paranormal Activity is kind of an inspiration. There's a lot about it that's inspiring to someone who makes movies and doesn't think that they'll ever find themselves stumbling into $1 billion budget. It was a little movie that could. Cheap, some shot in somebody's house over a little bit of time. They came up with some interesting gags. They threw them in there. They didn't care that they moved it and they ended the movie bad. It didn't even matter. It doesn't matter because they could look at this thing they made for super duper cheap. I think this is partially to blame for why found footage movies really took hold, is because everybody was like, oh, you can make a really super mega popular movie for 40 grand. I have 40 grand. That's a joke. I don't have nothing, so I can't make Paranormal Activity. What a shame. I think that a lot of people saw this and they were like, I could do that. And that's partially why we have a goddamn 100 movies on this list. As you'll remember, it's over here. This is where it's been hanging out. It's just invisible. This movie is almost entirely responsible for all of these, but also Blair Witch is responsible in some small way for Paranormal Activity. So that's sort of how time works. Something happens and then another thing happens and then a bunch of things happen, So I think enough has been said about Paranormal Activity. People have a ghost in their house. The ghost is scary. It's actually a demon. Oh no, we're gonna die. And then scary things happen, foreboding, evil, sense of dread. If you haven't seen it, I'm kind of amazed. You should probably watch it just so that you can say that you've seen it, and then you can move on with your life like everybody else did. Wow. We have not gotten through very many movies in a very long time. It's almost like I have a lot to say about all of this, and I probably will for all of them. 6-hour fucking video incoming. All right, What We Do in the Shadows is the next. And What We Do in the Shadows is interesting because it's not a found footage movie. It's a documentary. They're different. Okay, just because something kind of has found footagey moments in it does not mean that it is found footage. I mean, I guess somebody out there is going to make an argument that this is a found footage movie, and all right, but you know, there's like sync sound, there's lighting and production, and also it is like intended to be a documentary about a day in the life of normal vampires that live in like the suburbs, and they just live their lives and what that's like. It is a comedy movie, once again, about vampires, directed by Taika Waititi. It's not a found footage movie. I can't stress this enough. It's not a found footage movie. I don't know why G is the note that makes not a found footage movie. Not a found footage movie. It is like a fairly modern-ish movie. It kind of like launched Taika in a lot of directions. You know, he directs Marvel movies now, so or he did. I don't have much to say about this. I really don't. It's funny. You should watch it. That spawned a long-running show that also is not a found footage show. It is a documentary. Know the difference. Sorry, I don't think this counts. Next is Rec/Quarantine. They are different, even though they are identical movies. Rec, Spanish language, zombie lock-in movie. Okay, the zombie lock-in... I hit my piano. The zombie lock-in movie is like a whole thing. You're going to be hearing about a lot of zombie lock-ins. They're also called bottle movies. These are easy. I mean, it takes the George Romero kind of thing a little bit further. We're also, I want to say they're fast zombies, so it's kind of got the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead vibe going on too, which influenced that. But either way, it all kind of coalesces into a found footage movie that is just a zombie lock-in. It's an apartment building. Zombies start to happen. It's very scary, and a news reporter who's reporting on the conditions within the building is locked in, zombie lock-in, to a building where zombie activities begin to happen, and then they have to go to war with the undead. Rec is very good, I will say. It does a lot of very subtle things that are really good, and also a lot of frenetic, like really well-paced stuff. Big thumbs up to Rec. I have not seen the sequels, and as far as I've heard, they're not worth my time, although maybe someday I'll be bored enough to watch them. I saw Quarantine in the theater. Quarantine is a remake of Rec, and it's literally beat for beat the same movie, only like somehow worse. It's kind of like when they remade Resident Evil 4 and they like changed everything to be like brighter and more in the same way that they did that with like the Demon Souls remake. They like, these are video games, these aren't movies, but anyway, they took away a lot of the charm of Rec, and that kind of sucks. Quarantine is like not that good, and also it begins a trend. I think this is what I would call the beginning of a trend of like remaking foreign language movies, changing literally nothing, not really doing much different with it in any kind of way, except things that are worse. They're meant to ape the success simply by just translating it, and when they could literally just subtitle the movie and put it in theaters, yeah, maybe people wouldn't go see it because it's in a different language, but like, what a bunch of put them in the theater and make them watch the fucking movie. I just think Rec should have been in the theater. Foreign language remakes that were worse became a huge thing in the 2000s, and I have tens of examples of this, and it all sucks. They all suck. It sucks. What can I say? It sucks. Can anyone hear me in the house?
Yeah.
Did you see Quarantine?
I think so.
Did it suck?
Yeah.
Wait, say that louder for the people in the back.
I think it sucked. If I remember, it's the one where it's they're filming on cell phones and there's a big lake. I remember.
No, that's wrong. That's not it. That's not even close. It's fine. I'll forgive you. The Visit. Wow, great. M. Night Shyamalan has made it to the list. Wow, this first section sucks. The Visit is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know why this is like notable. I'm not sure why we remember this one super a bunch. It's like probably Let me take a little look here. Is this the newest movie? Well, Unfriended's on here. Okay, it's one of the newest on this like top tier stuff. And yeah, I guess technically it is a found footage movie. It was M. Night Shyamalan's return to making movies that people liked, and I do remember people generally liking it, even though I saw it and I found it immensely cringeworthy, as I have basically everything he's made. I don't really understand why people don't. At the time of recording this, he has a new movie out called Trap, and I have no interest in seeing it because I will not be tricked again. The Visit is about people that go to their grandparents' house. Their grandparents are old and scary. I can't put scary in quotation marks enough. Things happen. The kids are really cringe. The old people are really cringe. It's kind of a cringe festival. It's like a big party for cringing. The one kid raps. The old people turn out not to be their actual grandparents. They're like, there's a twist. There's an M. Night Shyamalan twist in the movie where it turns out that their grandparents are not their grandparents. They're actually secret other evil grandparents, and they try to kill them, and then they get away, and it's not good or interesting at all. The Visit is not good, but it did give M. Night Shyamalan the ability to make Blumhouse quality movies for the remainder of his career, and oh boy, what a bunch of shit those were. As Above, So Below. Wow, we are just swinging fucking 10 out of 10 on trash right now. I tell you what. Okay, people out there love this. Let's take 2 seconds here. There are people in the world that loved As Above, So Below, and I understand. I don't want to be the kind of person that's like, fuck you for liking stuff, your opinion sucks. That's not me. I generally understand why people like stuff, even if I don't really like it. So, As Above, So Below is cool and black metal, actually. People go into the catacombs. Catacombs are scary. They accidentally find a portal into hell. There's like black metal dudes in like cloaks. That's cool. There's like swords, and there's like a magic stone. They have to escape from hell. Let me begin talking about why I don't like the movie. Number one, I don't think that it's very well performed. I think that the cast is really wonky and weird. I think that a lot of the character motivations are like not super thought through. That's a staple of found footage movies where people just do shit. I don't feel like they do a lot with the found footage angle, other than the fact that it is a found footage movie of people going into the catacombs and accidentally stumbling themselves camera first into hell. The movie doesn't do enough with the hell stuff or the catacomb stuff. It's just kind of there. I feel like this was one of those situations of really cool concept done not so good. I didn't think that As Above, So Below was such a good movie, honestly. I want to say something positive about it, but I guess I already kind of did. I understand why people like it. Again, I just think that if this concept had been taken further, I maybe would have liked it more. Accidentally, I found myself not really liking it very much. So I want to move on. Can we all move on? I think we just go to the next one. I would say that if you're gonna watch one of the ones that we'd watched so far, maybe that one. Did you see As Above, So Below?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Medium.
Oh, god dang, it's the fourth kind. Wow, what an introduction. I don't know why I said that. That is the theme of this entire video. I don't know why I said that. The fourth kind is about aliens, and you know what? It's pretty dang good. I think the fourth kind is cool. I saw this in the theater as well. Also, I would like to point out that I saw all of these movies in the theater except for Blair Witch Project, but I did see the remake, so that kind of counts. But anyway, I wasn't old enough to see Blair Witch when it came out, but I did see the other ones. But I go to the cinema and I see the movies. I saw The Fourth Kind in the theater, and it blew my mind when I was younger. I thought this one was really cool. It's a UFO abduction, alien abduction film. You know, alien abductions, the things that are actually scary in the world. Imagine that. Imagine you get picked up by an alien and now you're abducted. Whew, that's a scary one. Pseudo like documentary kind of style about people who have been abducted by aliens, what they saw when they were experiencing that, how those abductions kind of manifest throughout time in a weird way, almost like demonic possession. It's very weird. The end of the movie has this 5 minutes in it that are very notable. This one researcher who had been abducted by aliens, she like has this extreme reaction to having the alien, like I guess inside her, like come out. She's played by Mila Jovovich, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let's find out right now. Let's find out. Hey Siri, who played the lead in The Fourth Kind? Mila Jovovich, let's go. Let's fucking go. Damn, I'm on fire today. That one's really good. The Fourth Kind's really good. It's very cool. Different than a lot of found footage movies at the time. I highly recommend you check it out. You should check it out. There's a very, very loud truck outside. You should check out The Fourth Kind. Hey, listen, if you're gonna watch one in this first part, support me on Patreon. And subscribe. You should subscribe. I know this video is going to get a fuckload of views because it's an iceberg and everybody loves those. So make sure you subscribe. If you're going to watch one, you should watch The Fourth Kind, unless a better one comes along. Next up, we've got the Unfriended series. All right, well, there goes the possibility of having a good one coming up next. Unfriended is dog shit. You mean the glitch just typed? Everybody knows about Unfriended. It's a meme. Everybody laughs at the meme. Who was flickering the lights? Oh, it turns out it was the Cyber Ghost, a movie that takes place entirely on someone's computer screen as if they were screen recording, including webcams, conversations, Skype, Facebook. It's all on there. The most amazing thing about Unfriended, they actually licensed all of those things to put them in the movie to make it seem like legit. Other than that, Unfriended is dog water. It's really not very good. It's not super good, is it? Unfriended isn't. It just isn't very good. I legitimately wish that I had more to say. I think that when they made this movie, they really thought they were bringing something new to the table, and in a lot of ways, they were bringing something new to the table. It's just a shame that it sucked. Next up is Trollhunter, much more interesting movie. We're talking about Norwegian film. Am I right or am I wrong? Hey Siri, what country was Trollhunter made in? Here we go. Norwegian. Oh my god, I'm 2 for 2 right now. Fucking firing on all cylinders. God, I am so back. Dark fantasy, found footage. We're talking about some people that go out into the woods, the landscape, and they find trolls that live out in the wild, and they observe them, and scary things occur because trolls are huge, very scary, although it is super duper cool. I actually feel like this is the first one where it's like the less I tell you about it, the more you will enjoy it. So I would just say right now, fuck everything I said about The Fourth Kind. You should watch Trollhunter like immediately. Like tonight when you're doing your movie night, you know, when you're on your computer and you've got nothing better to do, you should watch Trollhunter. It's really pretty. It's pretty good. So I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I will say that it was like a fairly decent entry, this list. I do think a lot of people have seen it. It definitely pushed a lot of boundaries, but it's super cool. I just think it's really good and you should check it out. Next up is Europa Report. I'm going to be very honest with you right now. Are you ready? You're not going to like my honesty. I saw this movie like forever ago, and I don't remember a thing about it. Maybe some people think that this movie is like sick and dope and cool. I remember it has something to do with people crash landing on Jupiter. They're trying to find something. People die. They're like slowly sinking into something. And, you know, this is the part where like a normal YouTuber would go to Wikipedia and just read the page and pretend that they'd seen it. But I tell you what, I did see it. I do not remember it. I don't think I liked it very much. Semi-intense. There's intense moments. There's probably even some scary moments. I think the end kind of ramps up because it's a found footage movie. So of course the ending of the movie ramps up to something scary or whatever. But I tell you what, I don't recall. I don't recall. That's my best Ronald Reagan, by the way. Did you like it? I don't recall. I'm sorry. I don't recall. Chernobyl Diaries is a movie directed by the director of Paranormal Activity. Oren Pele, he made this one next. It's a bunch of people that go to Chernobyl and they get stuck in there, or maybe it's Pripyat and it's just called Chernobyl. I don't remember. I think it's Pripyat. And then they find out that there are people that got like nuclear oozed and they've become these like little imp people. They are surrounding their van at night and trying to kill them. And if I remember correctly, they succeed. The movie is okay. It's okay. It's really nothing to write home about. There's not that much interesting about it. It is a found footage movie about people who live in a van down by the river. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so let's talk about the trope, right? The trope that is beginning. I'm losing my voice. I want you to know, I'm doing this for you. I'm losing my voice for you. People do a found footage movie in a cool location, and then stuff happens to them. And that's all. This is As Above, So Below. This is Chernobyl Diaries. There's a movie later on the list. It's called The Pyramid. Same damn thing. All of these movies do the same damn thing. It's let's go to spooky place. And when we go to spooky place, we'll film everything. And then something scary and unexpected, put that in quotation marks, it's extremely expected. I paid money to see a horror movie, goes wrong, and then everything goes to shit. This is the trend. Get ready for this only 1,000,000 times and get used to it, because that's going to be quite a bit of things. I'm going to just say this. I cannot wait until we're on tier like 5. Tier 5 is where the fucking Bad Ben movies are. I think it's tier 5. That's when shit gets weird, like Trash Humpers, last horror movie. I mean, there's some weird shit. That stuff is so good. The weird shit is where all the cool shit is. Here, you know, these are just big budget horror movies that are like barely put together, kind of slop, done in a found footage style to keep it on the cheap, and they are not that memorable or good, even though like I remember them, so you don't have to. This is just where we're at. You're gonna be seeing so many of these damn movies. All I can say is I hope you're taking notes, because there will be a test. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions and you're gonna have to tell me what each movie was. On the test, I'm gonna say which movie was the found footage movie at Pripyat, and your answer is gonna be Chernobyl Diaries. That's right. Good job. The next movie is the VHS series. This one's gonna take a while, I actually think. All right. Everybody calm down. It's the VHS series. We're here to help. A wonky, kind of messy, complicated sort of beast. There's a lot to unpack here, and there's a lot of movies. So VHS 1 is a movie that follows people seeing like not safe for life VHS tapes, and they scare you because they're creepy, but it doesn't really commit to the not safe for life thing. It's trying more to do like monster stuff and spooky ghost stuff. Middling success. The first segment is very scary, although it is very gross and disgusting, like morally, ethically, but it doesn't matter because it brings the business. The other sections, I don't remember like 3 of them, even though I've seen the movie like 6 or 7 times. And then the last one is a spooky ghost in a house and spooky things happen. VHS 2 is better in almost every way. VHS 2 is like genuinely pretty good. There's another Adam Wingard section. This one is better than the last one, and thank God, but it's still not very good. It's got a cyborg guy. Adam Wingard is in the section. Maybe that's not the one he directed. I don't remember. All I know is the guy that did The Raid did a section in VHS 2 that is the best one. I won't hear any arguments. It's the best one in the whole series, bar none. Very good. Scary Cult, very long. It's like a 30-minute segment, and it's super duper good. It's like way good. It's way better than the movie that it's in. I'm struggling really hard to remember the other segments in VHS 2. You know what? I was gonna look this up. I pulled my phone out and I was like, I'm gonna look up what is in VHS 2, but if I can't remember it, I tell you what, it doesn't matter. VHS Viral is the 3rd VHS movie, and I don't remember a goddamn thing about it. I've seen it twice. Hated it, and I don't hate things, but I hated watching Viral. I think that it was just shit. VHS 4 was the one that takes place in the 80s or 90s. Siri, tell me about the VHS series. VHS is short for video, which is, it was introduced into... No, I don't want to know about what a VHS tape is. Christ. Fucking worthless. I'll just... I fucked up my camera angle. This is taking way too long. I have the damn Wikipedia page to help me through this because the timeline is shaky. VHS 94, the Storm Drain. Storm Drain, Ratma! Ratma's here! Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Ratma's here. Ratma's good. You got to check out Ratma. Go to open a browser, open a tab right now. Okay, don't pause the video. I need the watch time. Go to google.com, go to Google Ratma, Raatma, and just take a look at that sweet guy. God, Ratma's dope. Ratma's sick. He's a rat. He's a man. He's Ratma. VHS 94 is pretty good. It's got Ratma in it. I don't know what else. I don't remember it being like super duper good 94, but I do remember Ratma. 99 was the one with Ozzy's Dungeon in it, which is directed by Flying Lotus. That one's really good. I remember that. And the rest of them I don't remember. You'll see a trend start to form here where there's one good segment in every VHS movie, and the rest of them are dog water. And you're watching an entire movie of bad shorts to get to one good short. It's not. VHS 85, I did a video about, and I did not like it at all, except Dreamkill was kind of okay. There's one called VHS Beyond. Did I not even see that? When did that come out? I didn't even hear about that. No way, right? No way. There was a VHS movie that came out, and I did October 4th, 2024. It's currently 2024. The movie is not out yet, you silly goose. So I'll watch that one later, and then I'll come back and I'll edit my section into this. Trust me. Anyway, the VHS series is a kind of neat idea. Found footage on tape, only they never do that. It's always just digital nonsense. It's basically just a short horror collection. So that's disappointing. There's always one good short. The rest of them are dog water. It's fine. It's fine. I know there are a lot of fans of VHS. I know that people really go crazy for it, but I think that they're just okay. And okay is better than most things on this list. So enjoy okay. God, I am losing my voice. Grave Encounters series. Oh man, do we have to do the series? I don't want to do the series. Like every time they type series on here, it makes me have to work my brain in such a difficult way. There's only one kind of good movie. The other one, forget it. Forget about it. Put it in the goddamn bin. Put it in the recycle bin. It doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about Grave Encounters 2, right? There's no good reason. It's the same damn thing, only worse. Water is really good. Grave Encounters is a movie that is making fun of Zach Bagans, and you love to see it. Zach Bagans is a charlatan and a fraud who has a haunted mansion. I'm sorry, it's a haunted museum, and it's in Vegas. And last year, me and my girlfriend went to Vegas for work. We were not there to have fun. I would never go to Vegas to have fun, and we decided to have fun while in Vegas. We did some light gambling. We won a bit of money, even though I didn't bet much money at all because I'm terrified of losing my very little amount of money. We decided to do something fun that didn't involve gambling, so we went to Zach Bagans' haunted museum. We were not allowed in Zach Bagans' haunted museum because we needed an appointment, and I did not book us an appointment, so we didn't get to go, and that sucked. So we went in the gift shop. We found out that Zach Bagans makes terrible music, which was really funny, and then we got on the string of bad luck to end all bad lucks. My girlfriend played some more gambling, lost her ass. I feel like for the next week or so, it was just bad luck after bad luck. Maybe I don't believe in it. I probably don't believe in it, but it was kind of spooky how our luck changed the second we went in that place. I did go on Reddit, a great place on the internet to find out that you did something that fucked up your life. Went on Reddit and searched for Zach Bagans' haunted museum to see if other people had bad luck, and it's pervasive. So many people are talking about how they went there and then they had the worst luck in history. I kind of think there's something to this. Grave Encounters is a movie making fun of Zach Bagans the charlatan, and much like how I laughingly went to Zach Bagans' haunted museum, not realizing that it would fuck up the rest of my life, in the movie Grave Encounters, the Zach Bagans like equivalent goes to an actually haunted place. They get locked in. They end up in like a time portal where the place is like very House of Leaves. It just keeps growing and scary things happen. All of them die one by one. It is a horror movie. It is a found footage horror movie where somebody goes to a scary place, they film at the scary place, and then the scary place devours them as if they were milk duds. It's pretty good. I liked this one. I like Grave Encounters mostly because I think that it's funny when somebody dunks on ghost shows and Zach Bagans. Those things are funny to me. There's like a psychic they have, and when the psychic like breaks character and is like, whoa, I actually think this is kind of scary, that makes me laugh consistently, and I've watched the movie like 3 times, so good job. Unfortunately, the directors' names are the Vicious brothers, so that doesn't bode well. And there is, in fact, technically a Grave Encounters 2. You don't need to watch it because it is not any good and nothing notable happens in it, so it's not worth watching. Also, I'd like to point out that all the scares in Grave Encounters are extremely like After Effects plugins. Really lame. God, I hope to death I do not lose my voice every single one of these episodes. And the last one is Apollo 18. All right, Apollo 18 is kind of interesting. The thing with Apollo 18 is that it's actually true. This is real. A bunch of astronauts went to the moon and they were kicking it around when all of a sudden space rocks came to life and became alien bugs that ripped them each apart, and then one was brought home to Earth where it caused an apocalypse-like event, killing everyone on Earth. That actually happened. And this is not a found footage movie. It's actually a documentary about the way that unfolded. Apollo 18 is dog water. Well, it's the same damn thing, isn't it? It's like, what if it was found footage and this time they went to the moon? And when they went to the moon, something scary happened and then everybody died. You can predict this movie beat for beat the entire time you're watching it, and yet you're still like curious, right? That maybe it won't just do that. Spoilers, it does. So if that sounds like shit to you, well, that's probably because it's shit. Do I recommend Apollo 18? You know, no, I don't think I do. It was not very interesting. I think this movie should be more of a meme than it is, but that would require people to have seen it, and I don't think that many people saw it. Sound off in the comments if you watched Apollo 18, and make sure to remember to subscribe, because subscribing is very important for me. Okay. That is the end of the found footage iceberg, not tier list, part 1, tier 1. There are, let's take a little count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sections to this tier list. So this is one video out of 11 videos. Get ready for 11 videos. Now, understand that the next 2 maybe are not going to take me super long to make. For context, I am shooting this on August 3rd. So if it comes out on August 4th, then it wasn't that long. It didn't take me that long. However, and so the next 2 parts, you know, we're talking Cannibal Holocaust, we're talking Devil's Due, you know, Howl House LLC, Megan is Missing, yikes. There's not that many in here that I have not seen. To catch up, it's not going to take me too long. After the 4th tier, I'm going to have to actually sit down and watch all these movies that I haven't seen, so it's probably going to take me significantly longer to get those done. You know, hopefully this isn't going to be a months-long endeavor. I'm hoping that this is like a weeks-long endeavor, but I am going to have to watch an awful lot of found footage movies, and I can guarantee you by the end of this series, I will fucking hate watching found footage movies, except for a couple, which I will have loved. It is a lot better than the disturbing movies, Iceberg, that I did, which sucked, and it is a lot better than the Not Safe for Life Iceberg, which mega sucked. This one is gonna be fun, and we're gonna have fun, damn it! This time it's for fun! I have been Mayleet. Get ready. Prepare your body for part 2, which is coming very soon. I'm gonna watch a couple of the movies that I haven't seen, and then we're goddamn back in this chair. I gotta let my voice recover because I've been screaming a lot, because screaming is fun. This has been Nick Spheres, and also I wanted to plug that I have new music. That's right, I have new music. I have a music video, and over the credits of this video, I'm just gonna put the whole music video in there so you can hear it for yourself and see if you like it. How about that? And if you do, you can find it on Spotify, or you can subscribe to my music channel, which is simply called Mayleets. There will be links in the description for such things. I would also also encourage you to subscribe to receive updates on how I'm doing, where I'm at, what's up, you know? Give this video a like so that other human beings can see it, because apparently if you don't engage with videos like likes or comments, then like fucking nobody gets it in their subscription feed or sees it. I know that people are like, surely they've fixed that by now. No, they never fixed it. It still sucks. Anyway, so make sure and do that. I think that would be ideal. If you had fun, let me know, you know, and also if you want to support this endeavor, it's going to take me hours and hours and hours. I'm going to have to watch a lot of movies. That's important time that I could be spending with my dog. So I'm spending it with you instead of spending it with my dog. So if you would kindly drop me $1 on Patreon, I sure would appreciate it. I have new prints of my books, Fluids and Girl Flesh, coming out on Hear Us Scream Press soon. There is a link in the description. That is basically it. I'm gonna let you go now. Have fun watching your new favorite found footage movies. Hopefully you found one in here that you're like, wow, I want to watch that. But in the next few parts, I guarantee you're gonna find more fun stuff. So keep coming back. I'll keep doing this as long as people keep watching. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and support me on Patreon. Bye!